Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Books and Betches, not to be confused with Books and
Broccoli.
No, like, this is such an easy one,
No
too.
one's going to get it.
What? Carrie?
I'm Kristin, and with me I have...
Broccoli.
and...
Maria.
That's Erica and Maria. Erica's been sitting here for the past 20 minutes just yelling broccoli, and nobody knows why.
That's not true.
We know why.
What's the reason? What is the reason?
My son loves a stuffed dragon, and somebody thought, I sent it to like one of our John's cousins, and they were like, "Is that a head of broccoli?"
Oh, you didn't tell us this.
And that's why
She said through
then we
text.
now call the dragon broccoli dragon. It's his favorite.
Okay.
She told us through
his
text it was a
comfort
broccoli
animal.
dragon.
Okay, but that wasn't like set up.
But
at
my
all.
son like cries for it, and he goes, "Broccoli."
That's really cute. Okay, well, this episode has
cutest
absolutely
baby.
nothing to do with
that.
broccoli. This is a book podcast. We swear, we spoil, we talk about sex. But this week we're actually doing a movie.
It's our movie episode.
Which ties into a book that we're going to do at another time.
Yeah. Look
So-
at us.
Are you sure it's not before this episode?
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Y'all let me know how you want me to do it.
Either way, this is a movie episode, not a book episode, though the movie's based on a book. We're not going to be talking about the book.
Wait a minute. This is kind of confusing. We are doing the book that is a retelling of the original
That's
book.
not even this episode.
Yeah, it's not this episode.
No, I know. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
This book is based off of a Stephen King book.
This movie.
Sorry, this movie is based off a Stephen King book.
So the
Yeah.
movie that we're doing is Carrie.
Yes.
However, it's even more confusing because I watched the 2013 version.
We are making this so confusing.
You
Yeah.
watched the
76 version.
the original.
Because I had never seen it.
Was this wasn't Stephen King's first book. I think that was a whole
No, his
No,
first book
no,
was
no.
a whole other thing.
Yeah, everybody.
This might have been his first book that went
This was his
big,
first,
right?
Yeah.
This was his first movie though.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah, this was his first book adaptation movie.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Carrie, everybody knows, I thought everybody knows what Carrie is, right?
I had always heard
I feel like
about
it's a
it.
cult classic.
It is, but I never knew, I knew the main basic premise. I thought because it's Stephen King that it was a true horror,
Yeah.
and I wasn't scared.
I mean, it is considered a horror. It is in the horror movie genre.
It is,
and
but
it
I
is
think
considered one of the scariest movies
What?
of all
what?
time.
Who
Yeah.
considered it that?
They
It's
were
just
wrong.
like it's like in that like
No.
grouping of like
You just made that up.
it's not made up.
That's like fake news. You're spreading false
but like
information.
it's like
That's so new
it's
for
like,
us.
It's like The Exorcist, where like at the time
That
this
movie's
was
scary.
extremely scary.
The Exorcist was actually scary.
No, it wasn't.
You're
it's
out of your
campy
mind.
now.
Okay, but Carrie, I felt like everybody, when you think of Carrie, you think of the pig's blood. You think of like
Yeah.
that being splashed on her. I actually think, what was that show, the Canadian show, Degrassi? Wasn't there an episode of Degrassi where they kind of
They
did
did
that?
an ode to it.
That's what I always think of when I think of Carrie. I go right to
Really?
Degrassi. I don't know why.
I've never thought
Fucking
of that.
random ass.
It is random, but I asked last night, we sat down to watch this movie, Mike and I and my husband, and here I am thinking everybody knows what Carrie is. And he was just like, what are we watching? And I was like, Carrie. And he's like, what is Carrie? And I was like, whoa. Okay. Maria, do you want to do the 60-second for this?
Why do I have to? Stephen King's your
No,
favorite.
do you
You
do-
read the, or you
I don't
watched
think
the
we
original.
do the 60-second for movies.
we
do
always have this fight.
Yes, we do. Yes,
no,
we
no,
do.
No.
don't
We
think we
do
do.
when one of you don't want to do it.
We always do a 60
I don't
seconds
think
for
we
movies.
do.
Fact check me. I don't care.
Incorrect.
don't
think
We
we
have
do.
not done it for every movie. We've only done it for some of them.
Is this real right now?
This is legit right now.
I'm going to show you guys later.
Okay.
And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I
Okay.
feel like,
bless you.
why'd
I
you do
might
it
have
like
peed
that?
a little bit.
But why'd you say, was there so much emphasis on the two? Two! Why'd you do that?
She's missed not making fun of you for the longest time.
What did I do?
Because you went,
went,
"Achoo," and you like really like emphasize that. "Choo"
I'm
in your
pregnant.
sneeze.
Everything gets fucked
Here
up.
we fucking go with this excuse.
You
All right, Maria, here we go.
you want to be a bully today?
Carrie in 60 seconds. It's been a while. I got to flex the muscles. The entire plot summary. If you're new to this podcast, we do this thing where we explain the entire plot summary of a book or a movie, which is what I
Or
always
a
say because we
movie.
do it all the time. In 60 seconds or less. This week, Maria's going to do Carrie, the 1976 version. And we're going to compare and see how different they are. I don't like that. We're gonna see how different Carrie 2013 is to 1970. I mean, obviously things
To the
change.
Obviously,
Stephen
very
King.
different.
I don't think I've seen the original since I was like a young kid, so I don't remember
A
any of
young
it.
buck.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember any of it.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
You ready?
I'm so tired. So let's see how this goes.
Here we go. Carrie. And 3.
Do you have actual
Okay.
watch?
That would help.
Oh,
I was just gonna guess.
You're
I
just
was
gonna
gonna-
count in your head?
I was going off vibes alone.
Oh,
All right,
God.
Maria.
Okay.
Here we go. And 3, 2, 1, go.
Carrie is a very recluse girl. She has a very religious mother who doesn't want her to grow up at all. While she is at school, senior year of high school to be exact, she gets her period in this scene that is so done by the male gaze. It just was so annoying. Anyway, she gets her period, doesn't know what it is. All the girls start like throwing tampons at her, like plug it up, plug it up. It really just traumatizes her. She goes home. Her mom's like, "See, you have the devil in you. You
30.
sinned." And then the whole movie is just her like still being bullied, but then one girl feels bad about bullying her, so she tells her boyfriend, "Hey, take her to the prom." But the other girl, who hates her for no fucking reason, decides, "I'm gonna put pig's blood on her." And the whole time Carrie's getting like telekinesis powers.
15.
And towards the end, when the pig's blood gets thrown on her, she kills the entire like senior class as a like, "Fuck you." And then at the end, her mom tries to stab her, being like, "I'm gonna kill you, you little sinful child." And the house just falls on them and hell sucks them into the earth.
Done. Wow. Perfect. That was so good. How about you do every 60 second tonight? Remember how Erica did all
it
of
last
them?
time? Okay.
How about you do all
All
of
right,
them?
I'll do
Oh
it.
my God, I love that. This is great.
I can't wait for the one that you have to do.
No, you have to do them all.
That was a dream. She was
No, I know,
dreaming.
Well, wait.
That is like one of the scarier parts of the movie.
That's the one jump
that
scare
doesn't
in the
happen
entire
in
movie.
2013. At the end?
Yeah, when
Her-
Sue
That's the
goes to
difference.
like leave flowers,
Oh, yeah. It's
and it's like,
different. in the end.
"Ah!" She's screaming in her room.
Yeah.
Oh, in the
From the dream.
2013
Yeah.
one, it just her gravestone or whatever
So
headstone.
she's dead in the 2013 version too.
yeah, it just cracks the headstone.
Oh, because she's not
So,
dead. Yeah.
so that's one of the major differences between the book and the movies, is that there is no like end scene like that. Sue is not as like prevalent
Sue.
of in that like
No, we
thing.
like Sue.
No,
No, it's got nothing to do with that. It's
I don't like Sue.
Sue was the one that
the
came
end is
at
like
the
an
end?
epilogue.
Yeah.
In the book, and it is basically like another girl is showing similar telekinesis like powers.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
like a reincarnation of Carrie.
and
like a similar, like,
Stephen
timeline?
King loves
Wait a minute, wait.
telekinesis.
So Stephen King has very adamantly said that he believes the movie ending is better than his book ending.
Wow, it's so cool to be able to admit that.
Interesting. I opened up IMDb and it
this
had
is
some
like
trivia
one of
things.
this is one of his favorite movie adaptations.
Wow,
I have some words
really?
because I hated it.
Oh, I mean, it's
I guess
2020.
1976. Yeah. But like, even then.
One of my factoids too was that the mother, when she read the script, she thought it was like a joke. She thought it was like a satire.
What mother? Like the
Carrie's
mom
mother.
in the movie?
Mama.
Yeah.
Really? Who played the mom?
Like
in,
it was that like over the top that she thought it was like a joke.
Who played the mom in the original? Do we know? Because it was
hold on.
Judy Greer.
Oh, Piper.
Wasn't Judy Greer.
In the
Piper
2013
Laurie.
one.
That's Julianne Moore.
Yeah, Julianne
Oh.
Moore.
Why did it say Judy Greer in the credits? I swear to
Piper
God.
Laurie.
Well, the newer one, I will say, I think there's a lot of differences than Maria, because you were talking about like Tommy sucked and this and that.
Yeah, well, no, Tommy's still a thing. Like, was he not in the thing in 2013?
Oh, Judy Greer played the teacher. Yeah.
This was also the 1976 version. Was John Travolta's first movie.
I could tell.
Who is he in it?
He was Chris's boyfriend. So the chick.
Was
that
he an asshole like big time?
Yeah, he was a dick.
Yeah. This
he-
guy was like basically a felon though.
Oh.
In ours. Like he was like
Well, they had to make it.
like heavy bad guy.
So the 1976 version is like 1976. The 2013 version is 2013 or whatever. Like
Right.
it's like based in
that time.
that time.
Right.
So they made the adjustments of like the cell phones and like what
Yep.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
more realistic to the time period, which I think like There is something about the 70s that's creepy.
Yeah. No, I
You know what I
agree.
mean?
The fact that there's no like cell phones to call anybody.
No, it's just like, I don't know. There's something about like the fashion, the look of people. Like Sissy Spacek looked fucking creepy.
Her name freaks me out.
Sissy?
Yeah, it's just a weird
They
name.
all had weird names. Carrie White, something Snow. And I was like, why are we doing this?
It was like I think it's just like a really creepy movie in terms of like, I think Sissy Spacek is like a creepy looking human being.
I thought she was pretty.
I wish I watched that movie now because mine wasn't like creepy at all. It was like,
but like Chloe Grace Moretz
yeah.
would be hot on fucking Venus. Like she's
that's what I'm saying. I was like, I don't think she was the right Carrie.
I think Sissy was pretty. Like she had her moments where she looked weird, but that was because she was playing the character. But when she was in her prom dress, I thought she looked beautiful.
I don't know. She's just a creepy looking person. It's not that she's not pretty. It's that just a vibe. I think it's not like a look.
Actress.
Yeah. She's a great actress. I think she's born to be on screen. I think when you have a look to you, I think that's like you can't like replicate that. You know what I mean? Like you just gotta lean into it.
The mom said towards it, what did she say? Your dirty bags are out.
What?
And she's like, breasts, mom. They're called breasts.
Oh God.
Every woman has those. Like that. All right.
So one of the biggest, this is actually kind of interesting. One of the biggest changes, the differences between the book and the movies is that in the book, Carrie is fat and has acne.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, why did they change that and everything else?
Well, this is why I think it's so interesting. So like Stephen King wrote her as like of course people are going to make fun of her because she's fat and ugly, and like gross and like, you know what I mean? Like regular, that's what you used to get picked on regular in high school type shit.
That's crazy.
I think they changed it to that. I think it was a deliberate, like intentional thing to be like, they don't want like fat, ugly people on camera.
What?
Like that's what I like. If you think about like the 70s,
yeah, the 70s, you're right.
Like why would like nobody was ugly on camera?
The way I looked at the whole movie and I saw maybe one or two people of color in the entire.
That's what I mean. Like movie, I just like it's
no one. The one that was like fatter was like
the 2013 version too. I don't think there was any. I don't think there was one.
They were in the background.
See, that seems crazy.
Of the prom, and I was like, okay,
that's wild. I thought that like the whole mom situation and her being a recluse like made a lot of sense of why she was the way that she was because of how she was treated at her house. For your movie, was like the prayer closet was probably all the same thing. Like, what was the mom like in your movie?
She was cray.
Yeah,
she was cray. It was very much like I understand the overly religious stereotype thing, but I think her reasoning at the end made no sense.
Was it because she was raped? Right?
She didn't come off as raped in this.
Oh,
she said she liked it.
Oh, well, she said that, but I think she was taken advantage
I thought at first it was like, oh, he raped you. That's what I thought. Because she was saying like we were praying so we wouldn't do anything. And then I can smell the whiskey on his breath. And then he started touching me and then he took me. And then she said, but then I liked it. I liked it. She was very dramatic.
Oh, that's what I mean. Like,
and so I was like,
thought it was a joke.
See, in the 2013 version, it felt more like her story was. I got the impression that she was definitely taken advantage of, and then she added at the end. But I liked it. Like she didn't expect to, which I mean that happens.
That does happen,
and so I think like
that's the sad part about that.
So to me, I think that makes sense. Then if Carrie was born out of this, obviously she thinks it's a sin anyway, regardless of what happened. So. In the opening scene of the 2013 movie, it literally opens with her birth. She's on the bed giving birth to Carrie, which is why I was like, don't watch this, but you already watched it. It's like this traumatic scene of her giving birth and she takes the baby out of herself and she's holding a knife to its head and literally about to kill the baby that she just birthed and then is like, no, and like holds the baby. And it's weird because the baby had an umbilical cord and then she picks up the baby and then there was just no umbilical. There were so many continuity errors. Like ones that you could not, like I can let some go, but the one with the hair that's like over her ear and then it's over this. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't stop looking at it. You can't see it.
It's interesting because I don't know when continuity directing became
script supervisors.
Well,
like,
I think once
prevalent.
more cameras were introduced to film and more angles and more like intense
I don't know when
edits.
I don't know what like
There used to be a lot of one
time or
takes.
year. Yeah.
So I used to be a lot of one
takes.
takes. What I did like about Carrie 1976 was, I don't know if it was the beginning of the use of this lens, but I always notice it because it was so cool back then.
To go
It's
upside
the
down.
one that's the double focus.
Oh.
So like your foreground's in focus and your background's in focus.
Oh, yeah.
And it's one of those cool lenses that they used to use all the time back in the day. Like I think The Matrix has it. Carrie had it a couple times. I can't remember another movie that does, but I always liked seeing it. I'm like, that's such a cool thing.
Did you get any Dutch angles?
Dutch angles. It had one Dutch angle towards the end.
Was she like walking in her house? There was
No.
one and like the
Why don't
camera.
you tell people what the Dutch angle is?
A Dutch angle,
sorry.
for those who aren't in film, sorry, is when if you're looking at it as normal, we are straight 16:9 widescreen. A Dutch angle is when you're tilted on an axis. A good example is to go watch Thor. The first Thor, there's too many fucking Dutch
Is
angles.
there?
That's why I hate that
I don't
movie.
think I watched it.
I watched it in theaters. I was like, I fucking hate this.
Well, this one was Dutch, and then it started to go upside down, and it would have been cool, but the frame was not.
Oh, it wasn't full, so you saw
it
the
felt-
bars.
It literally felt like I was like, oh, now I'm on Instagram. I was
Oh,
like, what is
it's like
that?
it's like it's to turn your phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I was like, oh, this isn't even fucking good. Because
Oh,
sometimes those
no.
camera angles fuck me up and they make me so sick.
You know
Like,
what does it well?
Euphoria.
Euphoria. Oh
The
yeah.
scene in
Episode
the-
1 of Euphoria.
I literally was about to be like, yo, Euphoria, the scene where she's walking in the hallway and she's high.
It blew my fucking
It
mind
made
when I
me
first
sick
watched
to
it.
my stomach.
I loved it.
I had to pause it.
Because also the
There's-
lights in that too was crazy.
That shit's nuts. But I like when it works well. And I think in this movie it was just not good. This movie was not good.
A lot
No?
of lot
No,
of people
it's really
feel
bad.
that the 2013 version encapsulates the feeling of the book more
Interesting.
than the 1976 version.
So I've never
I think it's a little
read-
more closely
never read Carrie either.
aligned
Yeah.
in terms of like the sentiment behind like what was going on with like the mom and Carrie's relationship. Which I don't know. I've seen both movies. I guess I'm the only one that's seen both.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
And no offense to Chloe Grace, but she just was not it for me.
I agree. That was the biggest problem. And I think that's why I didn't like the movie.
Stephen King wanted Lindsay Lohan. Also not it for me.
Not at that.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
No.
Maybe.
You know who I would have got? No.
I was thinking like Dakota Fanning.
Yeah.
I
Oh
always
no,
think
Elle
Dakota Fanning.
Fanning. Oh,
Yeah,
she's
her
probably too
sister.
young.
She would have
Yeah,
been
she was like 4,
real,
yeah.
like a baby then.
Funny story about
or Abigail Breslin even. She was always good.
Abigail. Who?
Breslin,
Yeah,
Little Miss Sunshine.
Yeah.
Don't know who that is. I'm so bad with like actor names.
I needed somebody more intrinsically creepy, like
Yeah.
as an actress.
Intrinsically creepy.
That's
Who would
fair.
you cast today?
Today,
I think.
maybe Hunter Schafer from Euphoria. She would be cool. She's got like the bone structure, you know? Like you gotta,
Hunter Schafer
I don't
would be
know.
so good.
Yeah.
She'd be perfect. This is
You know who they would cast now? Jenna Ortega.
Dude,
I
why
know.
is she in everything?
because
She's a
just
good
got
actress.
fucking screen.
No, she's great, but it feels
should-
like the J-Law thing where they put her in
Yeah.
everything and they're
They-
gonna like make
It's
a
a temper
template
in
on
they
her.
effect. Yeah.
typecasted her.
Yeah.
She's typecasted now.
I don't like that for her.
So, what I think is really interesting about the movies, the 2013 to me is a why did we remake this?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
There's no reason to have.
But I also
remade it.
think that was the age of the horror remakes. We were getting Halloween remade. We were getting
Yeah,
I
it was
think-
in it.
I think Texas Chainsaw got remade around that time too,
Yep.
wasn't it?
Yep.
Also,
So,
am
like-
I crazy or did like not a lot happen in Carrie? Like
No.
that, it could be summarized to like girls bullied,
It could be a short story.
bullied in school, bullied at home.
Yep.
They dump pig's blood on her.
Yep.
She kills everybody.
Yep.
And like
Yeah.
in between that, nothing happens.
I didn't say this in the group chat, but I thought it. The best scene was the scene of her covered in blood and
Yes.
everyone's like fucking dying in fire.
Yeah.
I was like, where was this energy the entire movie? Like, I like this.
Well,
kinda
2013
just-
when she literally uses her powers throughout the entire movie.
Which I thought, like, I thought that wasn't done enough.
The
in
book,
the 20
yeah. So the book has it more often.
Yeah.
Telekinesis.
Again,
Would you have it?
Stephen King, so he loves telekinesis. Oh no, that's fairy tale. But one of my favorite books from his, which actually got me back into reading and why I was
Institute?
talking to you guys about books, is the Institute. And that whole thing, like, I almost feel like, you know, his worlds definitely collide, which is
Always do.
You look at Dark Tower series, it's literally his entire cast of
I
characters.
forgot that series even exists.
But Homeboy loves telekinesis.
She hasn't read it.
Yeah, I know. That ship has sailed.
4 years later.
That ship is gone. Getting her to read Iron Prince was like the best thing that ever happened
It's a
to me.
good thing she likes it.
I know. But
I will read the next one too.
she's going to hate Dark Tower. That's why I'm like, let's let that
Let's
ship
just
sail.
let it go.
But telekinesis I think is super fun. I think like, and then like Firestarter.
I know that too at the end, Firestarter.
Yeah, so I feel like he's really gone down the telekinesis rabbit hole, and I think a lot of that might have to do with drugs. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I haven't seen any of it. I haven't read any of his new stuff.
This is the newest.
I know
fairy tale.
but no, wasn't there another one that came out recently too?
Oh, it was like a play on something that he had already written, I think. Though.
Oh.
I think it was like maybe a sequel, or I don't know.
All right. Anyway,
Either way, I
otherwise-
love telekinesis. So
I think it's a really cool power.
just saying. It's just interesting. Like Carrie is really like not much happens.
But like, it's not even top 5 like powers I'd want.
No,
You'd want telekinesis?
I mean, if I had to choose, I wouldn't choose telekinesis. But
Well, that's what I'm
if
saying.
it was thrust upon me, I'd be thrilled. Absolutely.
Yeah, but just to have a power.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have to stand up ever again.
That's bad for your limbs.
I don't know. I
My
just
limbs would
like
be fine. I got telekinesis.
No.
I'd float everywhere.
it's not my favorite.
She floated in the end of the movie.
She did.
Not in
Not in the original.
the original. She walked her ass home.
Yeah, that's probably a lot more money to rig her up and everything.
Honestly, yeah.
So I get it.
The movie rights to this was sold for $2,500,
In 19, I almost said 1776.
1994, and there were a couple of odes to Psycho because they
Yes.
were
In the 1976, there was the
Oh.
used several times in the
Interesting.
film, and I was like, okay, I get it. You like Hitchcock,
Here's my question for you.
yeah?
Does it hold up?
I think it's like The Exorcist. It's like
Yeah, I
it's
think
got its place
I,
in time, but it's not.
I watch it for
camp.
camp. You know, like
That's fair.
it had its moments where I was like, okay, I can dig this. There are other moments where I was like, please move on.
They all look old.
So like, what I think is kind of like Rose. Have you seen Rosemary's Baby?
No, it's on my list though. I want to do it this month.
So Rosemary's Baby, I think holds up
Oh, I'm gonna test that theory.
because the premise of it is so fucking creepy.
Interesting.
You know what I
even
mean?
know. I don't even know. the
People
premise.
love Rosemary's Baby.
That's why I've heard.
It's
I don't know
a
anything about
cult
it.
classic.
I know
It's a cult
nothing
classic.
about it other than that it's a horror film.
I've seen one
So say
scene.
nothing else.
So
Seen
I'm
one
not.
scene.
I'm not going to say anything else. But
I will
like,
watch and come back.
The premise of Rosemary's
It's
Baby is creepy on its own, no matter when or where. But again, I revert back to like 60s, 70s is just a creepier time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Carrie to me wasn't like super creepy. And
yeah.
I was like, I love the idea of like talking about story and stuff like this. So I don't know if you guys saw the creators of South Park recently put out, it was like a reel that I saw of them talking about how they come up with ideas for South Park and like how they write their stories. And I thought this was really cool where it's using the but therefore instead of and then, which is essentially like Jimmy walked to the pool and then it started to rain and then he went home and then whatever. Whereas you would tell your story as like Jimmy walked to the pool, but it started to rain, therefore he went, and that's how you tell a better story.
Yeah.
To me, I'm like, Carrie's
Are you
like,
sure you weren't looking at part of the documentary of the 6 Days to Air?
probably. It might have just been a clip
Love
from
that
it.
documentary.
But it just made me think of like, when you really strip down a story at like its basis, it could be so simple and be so successful. And I just feel like Carrie.
I'm a
just
big fan
didn't-
of simplicity.
Yeah, it was just so. Nowadays, I just feel like everybody's trying to create that like next thing.
No, everyone's
I-
either
you know-
remaking things or
true.
trying too hard to make the next thing and then it falls flat.
One
True.
of the scariest movies in recent years, like, I mean, like within the last like 15, was Paranormal Activity.
Yep.
That had people by the fucking
The first one.
chokehold.
I
The
watched
first
that
Paranormal
in theaters.
Activity was so fucking scary.
Yep.
I can't even like wrap my head around how scary that
I
movie
told you
still-
guys
But
that.
I think
still
it's-
is.
You know what it is? It did what Blair Witch had done,
should
which
have
was
been able
the found
to do.
footage. Because Blair Witch still did it in the beginning, but then it was,
It just unraveled.
it unraveled too quickly.
Yeah.
Paranormal Activity still held that like found footage feel that was like, this could be real, this could be not real. Like we don't know. And it was really
What
really
was the
fun.
last best scary movie that you've seen like recently? Was it probably a Jordan
the
Peele?
big one that people are talking about now, I think, is The Substance.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Is
I want to
that
see
the-
it. I
What's
haven't
that?
heard anything else. I'm trying to not hear any fucking spoilers. I hear it's amazing,
Okay.
but I hear it's
That's
gory.
Gory?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're not good with like body gore kind of shit, I think that's all I've heard.
There's one scene.
Don't say
So
what scene is.
there's one scene in it where it's like really, really fucking disgusting. And there was people in the screening. There was some people that walked out.
All right.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah.
So
Interesting.
But yeah, I want to see that.
Okay.
I recently, but again,
it's
I
like
haven't.
Black Mirror-esque. Like the
Yeah.
Did you
plot
see
line's
the
Black Mirror-esque.
not the legs, the
Long legs? No, I've heard of that
Legs.
too. I haven't had a
But
chance
there
to.
was so much hype around that for like a week, and then I heard nothing about it. Like
lot
people
of,
were
like
just,
most things today.
yeah, but
It's
like sometimes people are like, it was so good. I just didn't even hear any reviews or anything.
I heard a lot of good things about it.
Did you?
Yeah, but it's again, you're not probably in the spaces that talk about horror.
I hate horror movies.
So that's why.
I wish I liked them.
I think what we're finding too, which is really interesting, is like, so for The Substance, that's Demi Moore and Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
Like we're seeing some really big names going
Mhm.
into the
Wow.
horror
Mhm.
film.
But I need who did it? Who made the
And
like what's the studio behind it? 'Cause it feels
I don't
indie.
know.
To
But do you
me.
think we'll ever
Um,
have another like
and
Jason?
Longlegs is Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
Oh.
Nicolas Cage.
Do you think we'll ever have another Jason? Another like like we did.
They tried with Halloween with bringing it back as the final
But
one.
will
They
we
did.
have a new
People
one?
didn't give a shit about it.
Will we have a new Freddy Krueger, a
I
new
mean,
Jason, a
Paranormal
new
Activity
anything?
had probably 4.
They had 4, I think.
Yeah, but
Psycho,
like
I
a
mean-
true villain, like to
Oh,
you know, like Freddy Krueger, like Jason, like any of those.
I don't know.
You know what? But I don't know if they're
You know,
horror
maybe
films.
Saw, maybe having
Saw was
Saw's
What's
coming
his
back.
name?
Come back.
What is
Jigsaw?
that?
Jigsaw.
Jigsaw was a good one.
See, Jigsaw
That's
wasn't
probably our
scary
most
to me.
recent, like
It
true.
probably is.
I
like,
love
icon.
Saw. Dude,
Okay.
I watched Saw like it was my Saturday night cartoons, man. I freaking love.
Anytime
Saw.
I think of Saw, I think of my old roommate that was from the Boston area, and she asked me 4 times, "Have you seen Saw?" And I was like,
Saw?
"What are you saying?" Like, I was literally so confused. She's like, "Have you seen Saw?" And I was like, "I don't know. I can't. Are you speaking English?"
Ooh,
And
it
they're
has
like,
the same writer
Saw.
and director,
Of what?
female writer director for Substance. Fuck yes.
Ooh, who is it?
Coralie Fargett. Fargett.
Nice. Well,
Writer,
maybe we'll
writer.
have to watch it.
I
I probably won't.
Kind of wild. Like, I remember watching the first one and being like, holy shit, because it's kind
Saw.
of like a little bit more psychological
Yeah.
in some aspect of it. And then the preceding Saws were so fucked up.
I just struggle with
They
it
were
because
so fucked up.
I just think of Scary Movie and Shaq, and I'm like, Saw isn't scary to me anymore because Scary
It
Movie
wasn't
ruined
scary to me. It was like
It was
I think the
cr-
first
yeah,
one was
it was
a really
gross.
cool concept.
Yeah.
You know,
It was,
one
it was
room,
again, it was psychological. It
and
was
then
like
the second one
Yeah.
became, oh, people want body gore.
it.
We'll give you body gore.
Fucked up.
Several rooms full
Yeah.
of body gore.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't.
But
do
I think
it.
for your question about recent horror films, I haven't been watching that many, although I'm itching for it. Like I'm in my mood. Now that I've been
Yeah.
watching Queso, streaming like horror games has been so freaking fun.
Mm-hmm.
So now I want to watch horror films. I recently watched The Deliverance on Netflix. It's a Netflix film. It's essentially the Exorcist story, but it's based on true events that happened, I believe, somewhere in the South. And it's predominantly a Black family. And seeing how that was done through that perspective, I loved it. I thought it was really well done. I had some jump scares. I was like, ooh,
Nice.
scary.
I don't like
think
jump scares.
We had like a really big insurgence of exorcism, like esque.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
always going to be.
Like
as
that
long
is
as religion
always-
is around, exorcisms are
Well,
going to
no,
be a
because
thing.
because like there's a lot of exorcism like based on true story.
Uh-huh.
So there's a lot like of original.
Paranormal is the scariest thing that you could. I cannot.
I think it's like the new thing though.
No, but I don't think that could be argued. Like paranormal is hands down the scariest thing.
Because it's unexplainable.
A serial killer, you have a chance.
You have an explanation.
If fucking Jason came here tomorrow, like he's a man, he's killable. But like paranormal, you don't know what the fuck you're fighting.
You can't see it.
That shit,
most time.
that fucks me up bad.
That's
the paranormal
stuff.
I just watched a TikTok of this girl who
found the carpet.
The carpet. No.
Okay, sorry.
She said that she like met this guy and like she had been friends with him for years and like they had a really good connection, whatever. And eventually like they moved in together as platonic friends. And one day he just like came up to her and was like, I sold my soul to the devil.
Yeah.
Oh.
And like she was like, okay.
Oh
and he like after that, a bunch of like weird shit just happened. Like,
That's
and like at one point he came back, he like came into her room one time and was like, I just feel like you have to know because like the devil the devil doesn't like to just take one soul.
And then there was just that's gonna be a movie. That feels like a movie.
It was like,
are you sure it wasn't marketing for a movie?
Yeah,
the girl was like, the way she told it was not eloquent. You know what I mean?
That's
like
how they're doing
That's
it
how
now.
they start it. Yeah, that's how it
They're making it
begins.
seem like the consumer's making it.
Yeah.
Don't fall for this
It's
marketing
gonna be a
trap.
movie. Give it like
Give
a
me
year.
6 months.
I mean,
got
somebody
you.
should buy the
Someone's
like, the
already
rights,
trying to,
the
I'm
story,
sure.
yeah.
story for it because that shit is creepy as fuck.
Well, we'll see what
That's
the next
fun, though.
the next big thing is. But all right, Carrie, any other final closing thoughts? I think so. We mentioned it at the top. We are going to talk about the book Weight of Blood
By Tiffany D. Jackson.
which is a Carrie retelling. I've just learned about retellings. I'm excited to talk about it. So we're going to be kind of expanding on the Carrie lore. So if you were into this, then yay, you'll be into Weight of Blood. And you have time to read it because that's going to come out after this. I've decided right now.
She's decided.
And that gives you time.
She has spoken.
That gives you time. Go read Weight of Blood and then
It's a
come
quick
back.
read. It's fun. It goes by fast.
Yes. And enjoy spooky season. And we love you all so much. If you want to leave us any comments or questions or what have you, you can follow us on Instagram, books_n_betches, BETCHES. Click the link in our link tree and you'll find our YouTube. And you can subscribe and see us over there. We love you so much. We hope you have a great night and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Or morning. Bye.
Night.